I spent a lot of time being skeptical and believing that religions are a big problem in society. But I've always been curious to understand different cultures and religions, so I started to be more curious about Indian culture and Hinduism. So of course I looked for information about this culture, and I was quite surprised by what I discovered, and I became more and more curious. And today I decided to share with you some of these unpleasant things that I discovered about the religion of yoga. नमस्ते दोस्तों, आपके बड़े फ्रेंड हियर और आपका स्वागत है to our channel. मेरा नाम राधिका है और आज I'm going to bring a topic that maybe some don't like, but in this channel I talk about what I see and listen. Honestly, without fear, because, well, it's my channel. And I will start with the most famous and controversial topic of Hinduism, Indian culture. Casta. I know, you are tired of hearing about it. I know. But as a Brazilian, this topic is still pertinent. Here in the West, many still don't know what it is. Casta is something that everyone has heard of. But what it really is quite complex. Whenever I heard about it, it was in a very simplified way. But I didn't come here to explain what it is. I came to say that this was a very complex topic. And I was surprised by the original idea of Varna. But it surprised me negatively how in the post-Vedic era, in the Brahmin era, the dominant ones corrupted the original idea and began to abuse power, causing many to become marginalized, and unfortunately, consequences of this system are still seen today. Change is a long process, I know. India is making progress, but it still has a lot of room for improvement. The second thing I discovered and that displeased me about Hinduism was Brahmin interference. In the Puranic era, many so-called sages spoke many things that made some certain problematic beliefs popular, and especially women and Shudras lived in a limited and unjust way. Initially, I thought that Hinduism was just the religion of the Vedas, but as I studied, I realized that it was not. Many who emerged proclaiming themselves sages, incarnate gods, and invaders, all this influenced what we call Hinduism. Currently, we have freedom and access to information, and we can know what is Vedic and what is not. We can choose the beliefs that we are going to follow in a beneficial and logical way. And that brings me to another topic that I hate in the Hindu community: superstitions. When I started reading about Hinduism, I always heard things like, it's another messiah, it's the most logical religion of all. But if this is true, why there is so much unlogical superstitions in the community? Unfortunately, I have seen many harmful traditions and beliefs passed down from generation to generation and being practiced without a logical reason, which is strange because in the Hindu scriptures we see motivation to be rational. And before doing something, we need to think about the origin, the reason, and the consequences of this action. We need to think about whether in the era we are really in, certain habits help or harm us. I know that this is something that is also changing, but there are still many who are influenced by beliefs and traditions. For many, change is not easy, I know, especially because of family judgment. But what I studied in Hinduism is that we should never be fearful, and we should know how to respect others and ourselves. And finally, there is one more thing that displeases me in the Hindu community: hypocrisy. I always hear Hindus saying that everyone is a family and we are all the same. But even so, there is still a different treatment between men, women, people from different castes. And I believe that we need to think about why this still happens. And of course, we also need to think about whether what we believe is really Vedic or influence of the people who colonized India, because the ideas of colonizers entered Indian society and consequently Hinduism. And I see people defend those ideas if they were Hindu, but they were not. So, knowing the history of the Vedas is very important for us to know how to differentiate what is dark, what's not. At the beginning of the video, I said that I have always seen religion as a problem in society. But the more I know human history, the more I realize that the problem is a human being. If there was no religion or spirituality, everything would be the same. They use simply other things to justify their actions. Religion or spirituality can be used to help you be more noble, develop hope for better days, and motivate to make your dreams come true. Religion, despite being used to manipulate, destroy cultures, and put harmful ideas in society, it was also used to give you a sense of unity, social organization, and a parameter for less harmful behaviors. Humans, especially in times of despair, need an anchor and hope for better days to be able to stay strong. So I think we can see religion as a necessary evil. Now tell me in the comments if you think Hinduism has problems, and if so, which ones? Don't forget to like or firmly engage.